Hey, I gotta hurry up and get ready to go back to work, but I just wanted to let y'all know that it's really people out here in the world that don't give a fuck about money. This man just came up to my dice table and lost $19,000, and I just feel like he could have gave that to me. Tell me what y'all think. Like $19,000 on a dice table at the casino? Like, you really could have.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
The reason why Vegas is struggling right now is directly tied to elderly people. See, older people used to keep Vegas alive, right? Think about it, because they're running back and forth paying penny slots, eating at the buffets, going to the shows. They had a lot of really extra money just to do whatever, right? But see, now they can't do that like they used to. Elderly people are on fixed income. So with everything getting more expensive, like medicines, their rents, gas, groceries, they're going to cut out the things that they really don't need, but they enjoy doing. And let's be real, gambling trips to Vegas, that's not a necessity. Vegas built a whole empire, honestly, off of retirees. So when mama and papa ain't got that extra money, what you think happens to Vegas? See, when mama and papa ain't got that extra money anymore, what you think gonna happen? You gonna have empty slots, empty casinos, and eventually it starts to impact the entire financial system in Vegas. Ultimately, this ain't really about Vegas. It's ultimately about elections having consequences. And that's where we are. See, when seniors can't afford to stretch a couple dollars, that's a problem. That's a warning sign. It's not like they can go out here and earn more money. It's not like they're looking for jobs. So I gotta ask, if the people who helped build the Vegas Strip with their money can't even afford to do it anymore, what's the end game here?
Honestly, Las Vegas is becoming an empty city. And I feel like it's because of inflation and the fact that no one's about to be betting their money like that, especially in this current time in the world. Right now in the world is not the time to be visiting Vegas and having that whole experience and vibe. Now, if you do, that's great, I support. But I do also understand the fact that people are not coming to Vegas really and doing the tourism and doing anything because quite literally, shit is expensive, period. And then I feel like the younger generations, we don't actually really be gambling like that. That's not even really what we be doing. They honestly could have got us with the Uno table thing. That really would have got the younger generations back in the casinos for real. And probably a markup in tourism as well. But I don't even think that's the full idea. I don't know. Las Vegas is empty because the people are not coming here to gamble away their money. But people are not coming here to stay in an expensive hotel for 2 nights where it's going to cost buku money and then go downstairs of the hotel that they're in and then bet away all their money and gamble and then go to a buffet that's going to cost another $100. You know what I mean? It just is a lot. So I do understand why Vegas is looking a little empty right now, because who the fuck is trying to spend all that money? Seriously.
You know what? I haven't heard anybody mention on why Vegas is empty and no one's going anymore. The flights became too expensive. I remember I would be in Dallas or Atlanta or Tampa. I would get paid on Friday and look at how much money I had left over. I'm gonna go to Vegas next weekend. That's how easy and cheap it was to go to Vegas. A ticket to Vegas used to be $100 to $200 max. And if you lived in California and the surrounding states, it was even cheaper than that. Y'all messed up Vegas because y'all forgot y'all were Vegas. Y'all got a little too uppity. Now you looked at for a flight to Vegas, it's $400 to $700. What? Are you crazy? It's Vegas. You went to Vegas knowing it was cheap, but it was fun, and you had no problem dropping them coins. Baby, have all of it. It literally was a Disneyland for adults. It really, really was. It was a playground for adults. And then too many kids and strollers and y'all messed it up. Y'all messed it up. Y'all got besides yourself.
I used to go to Vegas, but I don't like going to Vegas anymore, and I'll tell you why. Vegas had a humanistic side, and it had a kind of a contract with us. We'll waste our money. We'll gamble knowing that the cards literally are stacked against us. And in return for just playing and giving you our money, you're going to give us a comfortable room for cheap, and you're going to keep us fed and drunk, all at a very reasonable price. But something happened. The shareholders came in, the big business came in, and took all the casinos away from the organized CRIME and the MAFIA. And from what I understand, it was those sort of criminal organizations that were still interested in the people having a good time. But now that the corporations are in control, they don't care. It's too expensive. It's not fun. It's too crowded. There aren't enough good services. There aren't enough fun things. $200-$300 for a room at the Luxor is not tenable. $50 for a buffet is not workable. $300 to see a Cirque du Soleil show it's not worth it, because we're giving them money from the gambling. If they're getting all that money from gambling, they don't need the extra money, but they want it. So we're retreating. We're staying in our houses with our memories of a more humanistic time where the silent contract that Vegas had with us, give us your money and we'll give you cool stuff, was broken by the big money and the big corporations that took over. Because they don't care. And apparently the old MAFIA system that used to run Vegas did. And honestly, maybe it was because they were getting so much off the grift that they were like, give a little back to the people. Give them a cheap show and some food. And that system worked. Anyway, here's my blueprint for how to rebuild Vegas. $45 rooms, $45 a night. Your basic room. Nothing wonderfully special, but a nice, clean room at any number of hotels should be around $45. Plus tax. The buffets should be $20. Buffets should be $20. I mean, personally, I can live without unlimited crab legs, and if they need to take away one of the most expensive things, fine. But just give us full, amazing, beautiful buffets for $20. And this whole business of going to see a show in Vegas for like $200, $300, $400, it was never meant to be like that. Those shows were meant to get us in the door, and then we'd gamble and spend a couple $100. Shows should be $75 max. Even the best ones, $75 max. So everyone can see them. Because what they're going to have to learn is that their success is going to come from us. And in order to bring us back, they need to be good to us. And we just aren't feeling it. So unless Vegas pulls its out of its and starts acting right, we're all just going to go to Indian gaming casinos that are closer to our homes anyway. Do we want to? No, not really. We want the experience of Vegas, how we liked it. But they ruined it. So that's my note for them. $45 rooms, $20 buffets, and $75 tickets, and we'll come back. Simple as that.
Guys, overall, I think people have started to realize that it is not really worth it to go to Vegas and to spend all of this money on the plane ticket, the rooms, the games, all the casinos and gambling and stuff like that. Like, people just do not have that expendable income anymore. They used to pre-COVID, but slowly over time, as the cost of living continues to increase, people just don't got it like that anymore. And since they do not have it like that anymore, they will be much smarter about their financial choices. As in, they will not spend money carelessly like that anymore. They will think very long and hard about how and where they spend their money, because every dollar counts, especially these days.
Have you guys checked in on Las Vegas recently? Nevada has fucked around and found out by voting for Donald Trump as tourism completely slumps. Occupancy fell 15% in the month of June. They are seeing less and less international travel coming into the airports than ever before. And things are getting extremely rocky. Certain sites are posting 40% off stays, 75% off credits for like food and things like that, free parking, all sorts of things. Now, I know Las Vegas has had some crazy astronomical prices, but the only month they saw a jump in tourism was January. What was happening in January? What wasn't fully off the ground in January? Oh yeah, Trump's administration. As soon as he went after Canada and all these other countries with his tariffs and detaining people and people being afraid to enter the country, people were actually still coming to the United States. And then he put all these in place and he pissed off Canadians and the rest of the world. A lot of Canadians go to Las Vegas. A lot of international people go to Las Vegas, and now they're not. Even into July, rooms and occupancy rates are continuing to plummet. Las Vegas is built on tourism, just like places in Florida, Orlando, lots of other cities across this country are built on tourism, and it's not just built on tourism from the United States. We are a world economy. We have been for a long time, and a lot of people every year, millions and millions, come into our country to visit our cities. Las Vegas thrives on it. I know Clark County, where Las Vegas is a Democratic stronghold in the state, whatever. But this last election, Nevada as a whole went red. They decided that no tax on tips was going to be great. Well, guess what, bitch? You got to have your tips to not be taxed on them. And if nobody's coming to your casinos, nobody's coming into your restaurants, you can forget the taxes on your tips because there won't be any tips. That's how you work. You are a service and a tip industry. You rely on people coming to spend money. That's the only reason you exist. You are literally an oasis in a desert. No one else is traveling to Las Vegas except for the service industry of what that city offers. You produce nothing else but the grapple and the pull-in for tourists. That's it. And if they're not coming, marking a decline of 15% in June alone, it is going to get darker and darker for a place like Las Vegas, and more hotels, businesses, restaurants will continue to shutter their doors. So you voted for Donald Trump? FAFO, my friend.
Vegas is cooked, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why. So I follow this guy, and he said Las Vegas is empty for the Super Bowl. Vegas executives are shocked. I don't know why they're shocked. As someone who lives in California and used to go to Vegas every single Friday, I would leave on Friday, midday. I would come back on Monday morning, nonstop, go to Vegas every Friday, right? I want to say 3 things to the executives and to everybody who was thinking about Vegas. Number 1, it's way too expensive now. I don't know what you guys have done, but you used to go to Vegas and get decent prices on drinks, decent prices on food, decent prices on hotel rooms. I used to gamble a lot in Vegas, so I always got my hotel rooms free, suites free at different places. They started cutting that out. And I was like, I'm not coming to gamble if I'm going to have to pay for a hotel room at the place I'm gambling at when I'm a high roller and I'm gambling a lot. Number 2, the parties are played out in Vegas. The parties are played. Nobody's dancing. The club scene, the expensive tables. It's whack, man. Vegas used to be the place where you could go and really get down and let loose and dance. They were welcoming. There was no cover charge. Come on in. You're going to buy drinks. You're going to get food. We're dancing. We're having a good time. The celebrity DJ scene, all of that has really messed up Vegas. It's really messed it up. And number 3, the younger generation have access to gaming on their devices. You can barely get them to come off the game. They definitely not going all the way to Vegas to gamble when they can get it right on their phone. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. They don't care about the S clubs. We used to go. I remember I used to love going to Vegas to go to the S clubs. I was in the house, right? But these younger men, and that's who's spending the money in Vegas. I want to be clear about it. It has been men who has been driving this money train for Vegas. Yes, women go, bachelorette parties, other parties, birthday parties, but men mostly are the ones that are buying the VIPs, the tables, spending the money in the S clubs, things of this nature. It is men that have been driving the commerce of Vegas. They like, nah, I'm good. Vegas is going to have to change and become old Vegas. If they become old Vegas, where's the $2 craps? Where's the $2 blackjack? Bring some of the deals back. Where's the $10 rooms? You want people to come back to Vegas, you're going to have to offer them something they can't get locally.
There has also been a huge rise in online gambling from your computer and your phone as well. And so a lot of people do not want to pay that extra money for the hotel fees, the plane ticket, and all of these extra fees when you can just do it at the comfort of your own home or on your phone or stuff like that. So things have really changed from going in person and having that in-person experience to online. And so a lot of people have transitioned from in-person to online. And so there has clearly been a shift in where they're willing to go to actually gamble. A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's continue the video.
All the strippers I know in Las Vegas and some of the ones I follow on social media are saying similar things about how the clientele is not tipping in the strip club the way that they used to. Regular servers and bartenders are also saying that they're receiving less tips overall. The stats are all there to prove that people are shopping less, people are eating out less, and people are just spending less money on consumerism. Secondly, the CDC just reported that women are having less babies, and honestly, the economy is one of the biggest reasons why. I have a very long list of reasons of why I am never bringing children onto this planet, but people are financially struggling right now, moving back in with their parents, living paycheck to paycheck, losing their jobs to AI. The idea of bringing kids into this world to struggle and suffer does not sound enticing in the slightest. Which brings me to the third recession indicator, and it's that people in their 20s and 30s are moving back in with their parents. And honestly, we're not judging each other for it. I personally can't do that because my husband and I love the city of Las Vegas way too much to ever leave it. So we simply would not move in with our parents. But the idea of not having to pay rent is such an awesome thing right now that nobody in their 20s and 30s is judging each other for that. The next one is that Vegas tourism is down bad, so badly that Las Vegas casinos are actually offering discounts and incentives to convince people to come back to Las Vegas. Tourism is down in Las Vegas, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, and it makes me really sad because I'm a proud Vegas local and I actually want to see my city thrive. Vegas casinos are notoriously known for being extremely greedy, but with everything going on, they're actually offering discounts and incentives to get people to come, and that even includes some of them are waiving the resort's fee. And the last recession indicator, as I'm scrolling on TikTok, I'm seeing lash technicians, nail technicians, Brazilian waxers, so many people who work in the beauty industry, and they're saying that they're losing clientele because girls are trying to figure out how they can do all of these services DIY and do all of their beauty services at home so they can save money. So if the beauty industry isn't doing well, even though we live in a patriarchal society where women are told that if we are not beautiful, we are worth nothing, women are still not investing their dollars into beauty services because they're trying to figure out how to save money and do these beauty services on their own at home or not do them at all. I'm personally trying to look at this time in life through a positive lens by having gratitude for everything I do have, putting self-love into practice, and trying to find the silver linings in everything. But I sincerely hope that things change soon for the sake of the collective consciousness, because the weight of such widespread depression and struggle is extremely heavy.
Yeah, I was in Las Vegas about 2 years ago, and I remember seeing a lot of people, especially in the Strip. But now it's like so different. There's not a lot of tourists around the area. Downtown is kind of like dead. I don't know if it's just because of the day or what's going on, but I think Las Vegas is dying.
I live in Las Vegas, and people are talking a lot about Las Vegas, how Las Vegas is down and people aren't visiting and flights are empty and all this stuff. This is what I can tell you. It's a Friday afternoon. And I just drove across town. I mean, from one end of the town to the other end of Las Vegas, and I just did it in 17 minutes. 17 minutes. No traffic whatsoever. And this morning there was eerily no traffic whatsoever. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but this much I can tell you. There's no traffic. There's no traffic in Vegas at all. If on a Friday afternoon I can drive from one side of the town all the way to the other, from Summerlin all the way to Henderson in 17 minutes, yeah, something's up. Something's up in Vegas. I don't know exactly what, but there's no traffic in Vegas, especially on a Friday.
You make a great point. The younger generation does not gamble like the older generation did, and I think I know why. See, older folks, when they went to Vegas, they were ready to hit those penny slots, those blackjack tables, and take a chance on everything. But see, young people, they look at gambling totally different. See, for young folks, gambling is not sitting at a machine and waiting for the cherries to line up. See, for young folks, gambling is like the idea of gambling and betting on themselves, putting their time, resources, and energy into things that are going to manifest the result that they want at the end. They understand that's not a game of chance. That's deliberate work. Because let's be real, even the games when you're gambling that require skill, they still require just a little bit of luck to be able to win. You can read the players, try to read the cards, you can do everything you want, but at the end of the day, you need some level of luck to help you out. And see, young people, they're not willing to sit around and be hoping for it. They would rather bet on the one thing that they know is a sure bet, themselves. Whether that's building a brand, starting a side hustle, investing, or just putting money towards expenses that give them something back. But the point is, it's deliberate. So when young people go to Vegas, they are not rushing to slot machines. They're there for the shows, the concerts, the food, and maybe the vibes, right? The gambling floor is not the main attraction for young people. And honestly, I respect that. I'd rather bet on myself too. and instead of leaving the money in the hands of the roulette wheel. So let me ask y'all, if y'all went to Vegas tomorrow, would you spend like the money to hit the tables, or would you spend that money on yourself, just, you know, any experience instead? What would you do?
Guys, honestly, I do not know one young person that actually likes to gamble or pays a lot of money or goes gambling often. Young people are just not into stuff like that. They like more concerts, parties, and stuff like that. And us as young people, we like things to be close. We do not want to go far for fun or entertainment or anything like that. And so if it's not close to us, we're probably not going to go, honestly. There's other things that we can do with our time and money instead of just flying to Vegas for a trip.
Vegas is in severe decline. Tourists are leaving Vegas left and right because they say it's overpriced and just not worth the money anymore. Caesars Entertainment, the hotel and resort chain that does big business in Vegas, reported a massive revenue drop in the most recent quarter. But it's not just Caesars Entertainment that's suffering. The official Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority announced that visitors to Las Vegas declined by almost 10% in March. And hotel occupancy was down too, only being about 20% full. Now, people are pointing fingers at what's causing Vegas's decline, with some people blaming the economy and other people blaming the lack of big-name performers currently playing at Vegas. Now, some Vegas execs are trying to play it off as normal, but what the internet is saying is that Vegas simply is not worth it anymore. It's overpriced for a terrible experience. Well, Vegas, for charging too much for a lackluster experience and leading to your own demise, you just made the D3 List, a podcast about dumb, desperate, and diabolical business decisions.
When capitalism no longer lets people feel escapism, that's when it starts to die. Vegas used to be like this capitalist bastion. Like, it is just a city that's made out of advertisements, and it's just is made to just push endorphins and serotonin into your body. Whether it's like gambling, drinking, you know, SW. And I remember going to Vegas for the first time when I was 23 years old. I was with my cousin and my brother. We did hotel roulette, so $20. We got a 5-star hotel for a night. They ended up being racist to us, so we ended up getting bottle service for free. And for like $100 between 3 people, we were able to just have this almost like capitalist catharsis where we could eat as much as we want, drink as much as we want. And that just doesn't exist anymore in Vegas. Everything is just so prohibitively expensive. Like, buffets are over $80. Even just to park on the strip was $20 for an hour. And it shows when like capitalism goes to this extreme, then you just realize that capitalism is just exploitation. But that's why like Vegas is dying. Like, we're in a recession. There's nothing more than people wanting to escape during a recession. So like, if Vegas just lowered their prices, people would come and fall into the same traps of gambling and losing their money, but they would be happy to do so. But when you can see the exploitation, then there ends up being a resentment against the system for taking from us. And there's this compounding factor. Like, I know so many of us this year are okay with not going to EDC next year because Vegas itself was just too expensive. When you don't even have like a coffee maker in the room or a microwave, it makes people want to like push back on the system. A small coffee in the hotel should not be $8.50. If I have caffeine in my system, I'm going to want to go and make some bad decisions. But because I see you trying to drain me of my money, I'm going to hold on to it. And this is not just Vegas. We're seeing this literally everywhere in LA, in New York, Chicago, SF, Seattle. And it ends up hurting everybody. It ends up hurting the business, it ends up hurting the people, it ends up hurting the community. And so I think we're going to see a lot of counter-programming start to pop up in the next 3 to 5 years against these big kind of corporate locations.
All right, Vegas, here we go again. These hidden fees, I'm telling you. So if you haven't seen my last video, check it out. But this is proof right here. I literally got receipts. So this tourist right here comes to Vegas, goes to Hell's Kitchen, has a summer sampler right up there for $80. He gets his tax, 6 something, a tip already charged to him for almost $15, and then his total. And then they have the audacity to put down here, gratuity not included. Here's your options for the tip. So who keeps this? The restaurant? I'm telling you, this is getting out of hand, these hidden fees, and it's making our tourists lose faith in the business that we're running here in Vegas. They are. They're getting nickel and dimed all the way down the strip. Stuff like this. I'm telling you, this is hurting us, Vegas. This is hurting us. It's shady, it's sneaky, and it's making our tourists lose trust in visiting Vegas.
So hey y'all,
remember a few months back when we were talking about some states that were going bankrupt and they were losing money because of farming and the fact that there were no migrants to help with the harvest and all that kind of stuff. Well, it has now spread outside of farming to tourism. So Las Vegas, Nevada is now reporting that they are seeing a staunch decline in their tourism industry. They are blaming it on the fact that people are afraid to travel to Las Vegas because flights are down for people coming into the city because they're afraid of ICE. People are afraid of being picked up on the strip because of ICE. So because of that, a lot of the hotels have had to raise their prices because they're not getting the influx of people into the hotels. Casinos are empty and traffic has improved by over 15%. So that means there's not a whole bunch of backup of people on the strip, all of that. One person went on the record to say that they blame Syphilitic Sid. They blame the tariffs. They blame his immigration policies. They are blaming the economy and all of it squarely on him. They're saying that buffets are now upwards of over $100 because, you know, there ain't nothing like a good buffet when you go to the casino, child, and you done spent all your money and they done comped you some stuff. Oh, anyway, maybe now might be a good time for me to go because won't be a lot of people there. Anywho, yes, Vegas, y'all, Vegas. When Vegas is struggling, y'all know that Armageddon got to be around the corner. Anyway, I'm going to finish binge watching SWAT. You know what I'm saying. Ta-da-da, ta-da-da. Anyway, okay, bye.
At a young age, I was friends with a lot of Hispanics, and, you know, I grew up with a lot of them. And so from my personal experience, Hispanics hardly gamble like that. And if they actually travel and go on trips, they are in spots like Mexico or their home countries or Miami or California or at times New York and stuff like that. They hardly go to Las Vegas, at least from my experience and the Hispanics that I have been around for my whole life pretty much. And so from my personal experience, that is just not true, honestly. The main issue is with the decline in tourism, is also with people do not have expendable income like that. People are not going to spend a fortune on plane tickets, hotel fees, and all kinds of stuff that is included with traveling to Vegas. And in my personal opinion, I think that a trip to Vegas is like a one-time thing. Especially if you're young, there's so much more to see outside of the United States, or even within the United States. There's a lot of places to go. You know, you don't really have to go to Las Vegas every single year. There are a lot of cheaper options that a lot of people are choosing outside of Vegas or just the casino scene, just in general.
This is just untrue. Obviously, not all wealthy people play in casinos, but a lot of them do. I think the difference is that wealthy people don't play in the casino to have a come up. Winning is not their main goal. Obviously they want to win, but they're there for fun. And while they're there, the casino covers everything for them. The casinos will fly them in on private jets or helicopters. They do not pay for their rooms. They do not pay for their own food. They don't even pay for their own massage, which is what I do in the casino. I have massaged celebrities, billionaires, people that breed racehorses, people that own enormous businesses and global companies. I even massaged a prince one time. I think another comment said that when they go to the casinos, they think that most of the people there shouldn't be there. You have no idea who you're sitting next to in a casino. You have no idea how much money they have. Like, did you check their bank account? Like, no. Even the people that are not dressed nicely, you have no idea. So yeah, wealthy people, they go to casinos too.
They are not lying about Vegas being dead, y'all. I'm a waitress on the Strip, and last year around this time, I made like $300 to $500 a day in tips. And today, I just walked home with $124.
9 times out of 10 when I'm doing something, I'm by myself. So I come to the casino a lot. I don't gamble, but I drink. I'll come get me, you know, 1 or 2 drinks or whatever and leave. I like to dilly-dally, you know, get cute, just walk around. Every time I'm in this hole and I see one of my homeboys or somebody I know, what nigga you waiting on? What nigga you meeting here? I need to be meeting somebody here. One of these old ass men that be making 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 on the table. Yeah, I need to be meeting them. That's the best advice too. Ladies, go places by yourself. Don't be scared to go nowhere by yourself. That's when men have the courage to actually speak to you. I get a number every time I come in this beach.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.